an extraordinary sight, blood-colored rain.
Mysterious blood rain in India. On July 25, 2001, the state of Kerala, India, started to experience one of the strangest atmospheric events in all of meteorological science, red rain and hail. The red rain water covered approximately a 450 into 150 square kilometer area. A few hours before the rain started, witnesses say listening to loud thunder or possibly a sonic boom. For 2 months, there were isolated reports of blood-colored rain. It was discovered early on that each milliliter of rain contained approximately 9 million red particles. However, it was discovered that while most particles were red, a few were tinted green, bluish gray, and yellow, possibly correlating with the tales of those who reported other colored rain. The Institute for Earth Science Studies in Kerala discovered that the rain's pH was neutral and that it contained high levels of nickel, manganese, titanium, chromium, and copper. The red particles are found to be mostly carbon and oxygen with trace amounts of iron and silicon. Godfrey Lewis, a physicist at India's Cochin University of Science and Technology, collected samples to determine the source of this mysterious rainfall. He estimated that 50,000 kilograms of red particles had fallen from the sky. Lewis and a colleague Santosh Kumar of Mahatma Gandhi University in India published research of this concept in the peer-reviewed journal Astrophysics and Space Science in January 2006. They hypothesized that the red rain was caused by an exoplanet event such as the dissolution of a tiny comet or fireball fragment attempting to enter Earth's atmosphere. Lewis discovered brown and red cell-like particles in the rain that were 4 to 10 micrometer in diameter and looked like human blood under a microscope. An energy dispersive X-ray integrator discovered that the cells were mostly made up of carbon and oxygen. To add to the intrigue, when Lewis stained the samples with ethylene bromide to look for residues of DNA, he discovered none. Isotopic analysis is frequently used by large asteroid researchers to determine whether the data points come from a meteor, a planet, or a moon. Because the isotope ratio's variance of carbon and nitrogen in the Earth-based record is well known, deciding whether samples are interstellar is an issue of observing isotope ratios that differ from predicted value. Notwithstanding, a few intriguing questions remain. Are these spores from the Earth? If that's the case, why did the red rain fall over Kerala in 2001 and not afterwards since? Why did so many spores get to be airborne at the same time? Lewis is reluctant to accept Brenner's isotopic interpretation as the final nail in the coffin of his extraterrestrial theory. It would seem that this red rain organism prefers nitrogen more than almost any other organism, he observes. I'm also curious about the phosphorus content in the cells, even though phosphorus is associated with DNA. And so far, no documentation for DNA has been found, he adds. Moving forward in time, a mysterious creamy rainfall occurs on parts of Idaho, Oregon, and Washington in early 2015. It was eventually discovered that it was induced by a windstorm from southern Oregon, where the dust contained a significant levels of saline equal to the composition of milk.